When did your parents regret choosing the golden child over you? My sister Natalie has always been the favorite, and I've always been an afterthought. When we were kids, she got new clothes while I wore her stained hand-me-downs. And when I got straight A's, my parents put her C- report card on the fridge and stuck mine in a drawer. I stopped expecting anything from them years ago. When I got pregnant, I called my parents to tell them they were going to be grandparents for the first time. My mom said, "That's nice, honey," and then spent 20 minutes telling me about the house Natalie was buying. Throughout my pregnancy, they asked how I was feeling exactly twice, but Natalie's house became the only thing they could talk about. Every conversation was about her new countertops, or her backyard, or her paint colors. My mother-in-law threw me a baby shower, and my parents showed up 30 minutes late and left early because they were helping Natalie pick out furniture. My due date got moved up, and the doctor scheduled a C-section because the baby was breech. I called my parents and told them the date and time. My mom said, "Oh, we'll definitely be there. This is our first grandbaby." For the first time in my life, I felt like maybe they were finally going to show up for me. My mother-in-law was so excited she started crying when I told her the C-section date. She bought an outfit specifically for meeting her first grandchild and had been texting me every day asking how I was feeling. My father-in-law took the whole week off work so he could help us when we brought the baby home. 2 weeks before the C-section, my mom called and said, "So, we have a little situation. Natalie scheduled her housewarming party for the same day as your C-section. She sent out invitations months ago and she really wants us there." I felt my entire chest tighten. I said, "She knew when my C-section was scheduled." My mom said, "I know, but this party is really important to her. She's worked so hard on this house. We'll come by the hospital after if we can." I said, "If you can?" She said, "The party starts at 2 and you're scheduled for noon, so we'll probably still be at Natalie's, but we'll try to stop by that evening." I said, "I'm having major surgery to deliver your first grandchild." My dad got on the phone and said, "You're being really selfish right now. Your sister has been planning this party for months. You'll have your husband's parents there. Natalie only has us." The morning of my C-section, my mother-in-law and father-in-law were at the hospital by 7, even though we didn't need to be there until 11. They brought me breakfast and sat with me while I filled out paperwork. My mother-in-law held my hand and told me how proud she was of me. They were in the waiting area when they took me back for surgery. Everything went wrong. My blood pressure dropped and the baby's heart rate was all over the place. I could hear the doctors talking in urgent voices and see the nurses moving fast. They got the baby out, but she wasn't crying. For 10 seconds, that felt like 10 hours. There was just silence. Then she screamed and I started sobbing. They brought her over and put her on my chest and she was perfect. In recovery, my in-laws were waiting with flowers and balloons. My mother-in-law was crying and my father-in-law kept saying, "She's beautiful. She looks just like you." They stayed with me for hours, taking turns holding the baby and bringing me water and telling me what an amazing mother I was going to be. Around 6 that evening, my parents walked into the hospital room. They were loud and laughing and I could smell wine on them from across the room. My mom saw the baby in my mother-in-law's arms and her whole face changed. She rushed over and said, "Oh my God, let me hold her." She took the baby and stared at her and started crying.